The wait is over. The 2025 Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship in partnership with MRF Tyres is upon us at last after the long winter break, and a blustery but sunny day at Blyton Park in Lincolnshire greets around 50 drivers for the opening meeting of the season. 7 different categories of rallycross featuring cars of all shapes, sizes and ages. Drivers of a whole variety of backgrounds ready to do battle on the course. It is a mixture of tarmac and loose surface. Let's take a look at the circuit then. We're on board with Todd Crooks, the former super modified champion in his BMW Mini. Off the grid, it's down the tarmac straight away from the paddock past the starting lights. Then we go up towards the first corner, a fairly rapid left-hander. It tightens into a second left-hander, taking the cars off the main tarmac circuit here at the Blyton Park Driving Centre, over the old runways at this former airfield, and then onto the loose section. It is fairly wet on the infield after rain earlier in the week. Todd chasing the rest of the pack through this fairly narrow chicane section through the cones, then the left, right and left flick onto the back of the circuit, back onto the tarmac, round towards the left-handed loop on the far side of the course. It's back over the runways onto a more bumpy loose section, swing through a long, almost double left-hander, and then back in the direction of the paddock over to our right as we come up towards the conclusion of the lap. A lap taking just over a minute for the quickest cars here on the Blyton Rallycross course, into the right-hander, past the paddock and the viewing area, and then a final left, and that is a lap of the Blyton Park Driving Centre Rallycross course. The revs are up for our first A final of the season, and off they go. Down towards the first corner, Graham Reed will set off into the lead in the Nissan, the Scotsman. The BMW Minis will battle behind. Lynn Llewellyn side by side with Wesley Wickens into the first corner. Warren Salter has spun in the Treble 7 car. Michael Amlin trying to get through for second in the BMW Mini category, and he's done so. So Graham Reed leads overall in the Nissan, heading towards the loose. Had a couple of incidents in the heats earlier on, had some problems with this car. But the Nissan looking all good this time through our lone 4x4 category runner. The yellow car is Lynn Llewellyn in second overall, leading the BMW Minis, going for 4 wins out of 4 today. And Graham Reed, further problems with the Pulsar. He just can't seem to get it to run right today. He's dropped behind the BMW Minis. Goes level with Wesley Wickens, who's in third place in that category. So Graham Reed has dropped back into 4th overall behind our BMW Mini category pace setters. Lynn Llewellyn leads overall then as they complete the opening lap of this 6-lap A final. Michael Amlin in second place, Wesley Wickens in third, then the slowing Graham Reed, and off goes Michael Amlin out wide onto the grass. Graham Reed has pulled into the paddock, he's out of it. Side by side for second, Wesley Wickens has retaken second after Michael Amlin went out wide onto the grass coming past the paddock. So through comes Lynn Llewellyn over the loose section for the second time. Pulling away at the front of our BMW Mini pack. Finished in third place in the BMW Mini standings last season behind Ben Sayer and Harvey Harmon. Looking to take the title for the first time this year. Wesley Wickens in second place. Third as they come through the hairpin, bouncing around there over the bumps is Michael Amlin. Warren Salter recovering from a spin on the opening corner further back in 4th position. Of course, all the points will be combined together at the end of the season to give an overall champion, and so far no BMW Mini category racer has been overall champion. This was originally a class within the super modified division, the BMW Minis, before sufficient numbers came along to make it a standalone division. It is Lynn Llewellyn who leads the way from Wesley Wickens in second. Onto the loose they go, over the bumps. That's a very wet part of the circuit there, and back onto the tarmac over on the far side out of the chicane. Out towards the back of the circuit, this new left-hander. We've lost somebody, I think that's Michael Amlin that's come to grief, and Warren Salter struggles past him. Yes, Amlin spun at the chicane, that's third place gone. Warren Salter goes up into third position. Look at the front of Warren Salter's car. Looks like it's been sandblasted. That shows you how wet it is on that very chalky infield section. Swing their way into the right-hander once again. Into the final lap, I think, now. So Wesley Wickens will try for one final push to catch our leader. Through turn one for the last time. You can see how hard Llewellyn is pushing there. He's locking up the tyres slightly as he swings the car through on the tarmac. These MRF tyres. MRF in partnership with the championship this year. Oh, Warren Salter in trouble. Looks like he's pulling up. So that will give, provisionally, Michael Hamlin third place. It's just between these two out in front. Up towards the hairpin. Wickens closing in under braking for the hairpin. Llewellyn able to pull away down the straights. And it's going to be a win for Wales in our first A-final win of the season. Round the right-hander, there's the checkered flag. Lynn Llewellyn wins the Bone Street Autos BMW Minis A-final. Wesley Wickens in second, and they are well ahead of the only other car left running, which is Michael Hamlin in third place, because Warren Salter has pulled up on the exit of the hairpin. And here comes Michael Hamlin, and a couple of spins during that race, just learning his way into the category over the last couple of seasons. Bounces the rear wheel off the ground through the hairpin. And here he comes up towards the flag. You'll see Warren Salter has pulled up, so he knows he's going to take third place and completes the podium in the BMW Minis. The result confirmed then of our combined A final for the Bone Street Autos BMW Minis and Clubman 4x4. Well, the lone Clubman 4x4 runner Graham Reed, sadly a non-finisher. Lynn Llewellyn wins the BMW Mini split by less than a second ahead of Wesley Wickens at the flag. Michael Hamlin in third and Warren Salter failing to finish.
Well, I've managed to catch up with our winner of the Mini final. Great race, Lynn, and a good start to the season for you.
Yeah, very good. Better than what we could have hoped for. But yeah, it was very enjoyable. It would have been a bit nicer if there was a few more Minis doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good, and me and Wes had a good battle all day. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, there's no shortage of Rallycross prepared Minis, or even rally prepared Minis that can be changed over to Rallycross spec. And yeah, it would be lovely to see more cars out there on the grid, and more people enjoying the wonder that is Rallycross.
Definitely, and I think the Mini class was a good class to keep going, and hopefully a few more people will bring them out to the garages and use them a bit more. That's the plan. Well, that's what we all hope, but we'll see in time what develops.
Yeah. You're not saying that it's too easy for you against a small field, are you?
Oh, definitely not. No. And Wes puts pressure on all the time, and we was both in the same position towards the end. None of us had any tyres left, so it was just who was going to be the bravest. But no, it was very good, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
Ready for our A-final for the MS UK FIA CrossCar Championship then. David Kane, number 581 in pole position. He shared the heat wins with the men alongside him. Ossian Price in the number 16, the former British Rally champion. Bradley Turner, number 61 on the outside. Here we go with the final for the cross cars. Price and Kane side by side down towards that first corner. Gareth Greer with a good start from further back as well. It's Price who's got the lead into turn number 1. Bradley Turner sideways on the outside. He goes off onto the dirt, almost into the cones. The rest of them go flying through behind. 8 cars out there for this A-final, and it is Ossian Price, the Welshman, the 2022 British Rally champion, who leads the way, swings his way through onto the back of the circuit for the first time, chased by Gareth Greer and David Kane, fighting for second position. Stephen Burke in 4th place. Then we've got the number 61 of Bradley Turner. 81 is Lewis Gatz. Further back, Ben Bartlett in the 44, and the other car back there, the number 53 of Aled Davies. 8 cars out there in total in this final for the MS UK FIA CrossCar Championship. Championship tying in this year with the Motorsport UK BRX 5 Nations Championship, the British Rallycross Championship as it was formerly named. Great to see such an honour for these little cars. Small machines but big on action, as we have seen over the last couple of years since these cars were introduced to the UK. Ossian Price it is who leads the way. See the suspension working, the tyres taking a lot of punishment as well. Ossian Price being closed down here for the lead by the 581 of David Kane. Gareth Greer in third place, then it's Burke and Bradley Turner fourth and fifth as they fight their way towards the hairpin. The two leaders absolutely nose to tail. There is the 581 David Kane. Was a contender for the championship last season. The points title eventually going to Richard Rees, the Welshman in this category, but he's not here today. Good Ossian Price sideways there through paddock corner. Down the straight they come towards turn one. Still Price from Kane. The other heat winner earlier on was Bradley Turner. He's dropped back into the pack. Kane flicks it sideways as they go over the tarmac towards the loose section here. See the drivers working away. Look at Ossian Price soaring at the steering wheel there over the dirt section. Nearly clips the tyres as he goes through the chicane out onto the back of the circuit. Still Gareth Greer in third position in number 721. Just listen to the yowl of these 600 or 850cc engines in these little FIA cross cars. David Kane getting closer and closer. He's going to have a look up the inside, possibly there into the final corner. Doesn't quite manage it. Great fight here with Price soaking up the pressure from David Kane. These two fairly well ahead of the rest now, with Gareth Greer seemingly having settled for third place. You can see how caked in clay dirt these cars are, having gone through that wet infield section. Bradley Turner's up to fourth in the 61, ahead of Stephen Burke in the green number 32 car. Up towards the right-hander once again. Still Ossian Price, normally used to hurtling down forest tracks and narrow tarmac lanes in rallying, trying something different today. He's not used to having a car sharp on his tail. David Kane forced to go wide there into turn one. He's going to try and get the cut back on the exit, but he can't do so. There's contact between the two of them. Clip the rear wheel of Ossian Price. Get off, says the Welshman. He's determined to take a heat and final double here, but David Kane is just as determined. Over the infield they go. Cracking race here for the MSUK FIA CrossCar category. Gareth Greer safe in third place, well ahead of everybody else. Looks like it's Stephen Burke in fourth and Bradley Turner fifth still. Kane gets the tighter exit from the hairpin. It's Ossian Price going superbly here into the right-hander. Price slides it out. Absorbing duel between these two. Kane try again through the loose section. See the tyres taking the pressure there. There's Greer in third place. He's closer this time over the infield section, David Kane. He still can't find a way up alongside Ossian Price. They're almost joined together here as they go. Oh, there's contact again. That was heavier contact that time, I think. Now, has that damaged the back of Price's car? I don't think so. They're robust little machines, these cross cars. They're coming down towards, I think, the checkered flag this time. Here they come up towards the right-hander. The rest of them come through behind. Has Ossian Price held on to take the win? Yes, he's done it. Brilliant drive by Ossian Price. Second place for David Kane. Gareth Greer comes over in third. In fourth place, it's going to be Bradley Turner. What a cracking race that was. The rest of the pack comes in behind. Fifth is Ben Bartlett In 6th position, it is the 81 car, which is Lewis Gatz, and Stephen Burke, dropping back to 7th. He had a problem with his handling there on the final lap. 8th position will go to the blue machine there of Aled Davies. Of course, there were a couple of non-starters, no Will Ovenden and Max Weatherly. What a cracking race that was for the Motorsport UK cross cars. So the win going to Ocean Price on his MS UK FIA CrossCar debut by just under half a second. David Kane on his tail all the way, and Gareth Greer a couple more seconds back in 3rd ahead of Bradley Turner, then young gun Ben Bartlett, Lewis Gatz, Stephen Burke and Aled Davies rounding out the runs.
That's a great race. What a wonderful introduction to the world of rallycross.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a good day. Quite challenging, really. Started off in the heats, 3-2-1 in the heats, which is, we were heading the right way. Made some changes to the cross car. The Mygale's been absolutely faultless, really. Change a few little things just to get me happier in it. Yeah. It's my first sort of journey into rallycross and these sort of things. So yeah, very happy with how it's gone. You can't not be happy, winning the final and having had an enjoyable day.
Well, yes, that's right. What more can you add to that? But obviously, not having it all your own way, because the cars are pretty similar in performance and specification, although there are the different manufacturers. So you're not able to just take a rest.
No, I think I'd worked out. I'm not much of a racer. I'm not used to it. I'm not programmed to go racing. But I'd worked out from walking the track that I had to get a good start. We managed to do that from the back row in Heat 2 and get up to 2nd place. So I knew then, as long as we started well, we'd be okay. And the final heat and obviously the final, we were first into the first corner and managed to hold it off for 6 laps. So very happy. Just really enjoy myself and maybe we'll be back.
Well, you're learning the basics of rallycross, as in the importance of getting to the first corner and out of the first corner first, the whole shot. It's always been an important thing. And then the other important things are duct tape and cable ties.
Yeah, there's been a lot of smash and bash racing. Obviously something that I'm not used to having. You get the odd love tap here and there, but it's part of the game. And like I say, it's so alien for me. So to come away with a win, I'm really happy. And hopefully now we'll line up a few customers now to hire this off me for the rest of the season, and I can be a bit more involved. Yeah,
brilliant stuff. Well, we'll look forward to seeing what happens with your own personal rallycross career and the continuing growth of the cross car phenomenon.
Yeah, I mean it's such a growing thing. We're fairly new to it in the UK, but it's. I think it's great that they're taking the right steps to hold the championship for the year and a British title to go with it. And that's kind of what attracted me to sort of be a part of it, because it's the best of Britain. A former British champion in rallying myself, so I thought, well, why not give it a go? And it's good to see such a strong entry here this weekend, and hopefully that will continue.
Here we go then with the final for the Young Guns, the MRF Tyres Junior category. Teddy McPherson on pole, Hayden Harris alongside. Here we go. Decent start by Jimmy Jeekins in the Nissan Micra. Slow getaway for McPherson. He's dropped back for 4th place, and it's side by side between Harris and Jeekins into the first corner. And Hayden Harris it is who has got the lead in his rather battered number 999 car. Jimmy Jeekins in 2nd place, and McPherson, the pole sitter, is down into 4th place. Over the infield for the first time. Can Hayden Harris take his first ever A final victory? It was Elliot Fuster who scored his maiden A final in the last round of last year at Knockhill in Scotland, but he's out of this one after a rollover in the heats earlier on as McPherson tries to get round the outside, does get round the outside of Oscar Cooper there, the newcomer, up into 3rd place. So that's one car picked off. McPherson will be cursing his bad start there, and now he's got to fight back and catch these two. Hayden Harris leads the way. It's rather Andy joining him in Rallycross this year in the production category. Jimmy Jeekins, good to have him back in the Nissan Micra. Last time we saw him out was at Liddon Hill a couple of years ago when he sadly ended up on his roof, if memory serves me right. It's been Elliot Fuster, the man who unfortunately ended up on his lid earlier on. Harris leads. Micra in second place. Third place is still McPherson, but he's not closing on these two at the moment. Has McPherson got a problem here, possibly? Perhaps it's a clutch problem. We saw him struggle slightly off the line. Jeekins up there in second, looking for his best ever result, and well, it might be a steering problem for Teddy McPherson. The way he bounced onto the grass there, he's nearly lost it. He's all over the place. Yeah, there's certainly something amiss with Teddy McPherson's car. He's struggling to get that machine round. It's Teddy Bear mascot on the side door there. As away goes Hayden Harris in the blue and yellow number 999. Liveried a bit like a motorway police patrol car, isn't it? Appropriate with the number 999. Jimmy Jeekins chasing him down in the metallic purple liveried Micra. To the infield they come. Hayden Harris looking for his maiden A final victory. Memory serves me right, he had one heat win last year. It was Ben Bartlett who took the title. Ben Bartlett was in with a shout of the overall championship going into the final round of 2024. But beaten in the A final by Elliot Fuster and lost his chance. He did take the junior title though, ahead of Irishman Ty Ratton. I don't think Jimmy Jeekins is going to be able to reel in Hayden Harris. He is being reeled in a bit now by McPherson for second place. There's Teddy. Up towards the right-hander. Hayden Harris just playing it safe now out in front. He knows he's just got to bring it home through the right-hander. Looks like we're into the last lap now of this MRF Tyres Junior Rallycross final. And has McPherson got through into second place? He has. So McPherson through to second. He's got ahead of Jimmy Jeekins. Is he getting a second wind in this race, I wonder, after his problems earlier on? I think Hayden Harris might be too far in front to catch now. There you can see the gap. Jeekins still pushing on in the Micra. Despite picking up some bodywork damage in the heats, it's looking good for Harris. There's Oscar Cooper. Still going in fourth place in his first ever, I think it's his first ever Rallycross today. Up towards the paddock complex for the last time. Here comes Hayden Harris. There is the checkered flag, and Hayden Harris takes his first ever A final victory. Thumps the steering wheel as he crosses the line. Teddy McPherson recovering for second place after a few problems. And Jimmy Jeekins completes the top three in the Micra. Hayden Harris then wins the first MRF Junior A final of the season by over 5 seconds ahead of Teddy McPherson, fighting back after his bad start. Jimmy Jeekins in the top three, and Oscar Cooper, the newcomer, in fourth, with Phoebe Cake and Elliot Fuster failing to start after taking some damage earlier on in the heats.
Hayden, great race, well driven. How does that feel?
It feels amazing, considering the fact that Heat 3 we came away with a lot of damage, and we didn't know if we could get back out, and then we've just gone out for the final and brought it home for the team. It feels great.
Well, you seem to have left everyone else for dead. You sort of won that by a country mile.
I know, it just feels amazing. I just put everything I could into it just to get that win today.
And it's worked. I'm wondering. I know the bumpers aren't that heavy, but maybe a little bit of lightning might have helped.
Well, it could have. That's what me and my mechanic spoke about before. It's actually given us a bit of an advantage because of the weight.
The scrutiny is to hear that.
Yeah, but yeah, buzzing with it. Really happy. Just want to thank everyone at MDD, Scott, Ben, McKenna, and all my sponsors, MSS, Safety, Sim Racing HQ. It's just amazing. I won the King of the Hill at Knockhill, but that wasn't really BTRDA. But this is my first proper official win in BTRDA in the championship. And I'm buzzing with it because our goal this season was to win the championship, and we've come away with some great championship points this round. So really happy, and just hope that we can carry this season on like this. Yeah.
Well done. Keep it going. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So, time for the Super Modified A final, sponsored by SG Haulage, and Kieran Curran jumping the start there in the Corsa. The race gets underway, so I think Kieran Curran will get a penalty for that. So the Super Modified A final is off and underway, and Fred Ling, the double heat winner earlier on, the former overall champion, not with the best of starts. Curran leads. We'll wait to see if there's going to be a penalty for that jump start. A bit of a messy start there. David Bell in second place in the All-4 Mini. Won the Super Modified title, actually tied for the overall points last year with Alex Fletcher, but lost the overall title on a tie-break. So David Bell, the son of long-time rallycrosser Tony Bell, with something to prove this year in the car that he developed, the All-4 Mini. Fred Ling recovering after his slightly slow run off the start there. Fourth place is Geordie Gray in the already clay-splattered BMW Compact. Then in fifth position, we've got Maciek Florszak, and Todd Crooks, who's been struggling with drive shaft issues on the BMW Mini today, is further back in the order. Kieran Curran leads the way in the Tower Hill Commercials Corsa. David Bell in that bulky looking but very effective BMW Mini All-4 Countryman in second place. And here comes Fred Ling up the outside. Watch the Fiesta. Side by side, 3 wide into turn 1. There's contact. David Bell's picked up a road cone, I think. Fred Ling goes round the outside of both of them. Tries to take the lead away. Is he going to do it here as they come up onto the loose? Yes, he's done it. Well, Fred Ling took a year out of the BTRDA Rallycross Championship last year, but he is back in no uncertain terms and wants his overall championship back. I think Kieran Curran slows up. So David Bell comes through into second place. Todd Crooks pulling off into the paddock. Unfortunately, more problems for the BMW Mini. Out of the hairpin they come then. Fred Ling, his father Dave Ling was a long-time rallycrosser in the glory days of Liddon Hill. Fred all the way from deepest Kent, looking to at the very least this year win back his SG Haulage Super Modified Championship in this very smart Mark 6 Fiesta ST. There's the road cone in the background that David Bell mangled on the first corner. Bell in second. Curran's going again. I think he's still third after that moment with the tyres. Then behind him is Maciek Florszak, the Polish driver. Over onto the back of the course goes Fred Ling, looking for a hat-trick of victories. Could afford to sit out Heat 3, as we mentioned earlier, having won Heats 1 and 2, so he got a maximum score, because the way it works in Rallycross, you race in 3 heats and take your 2 best scores to determine your grid position for the finals. So, having won Heats 1 and 2, Fred Ling didn't need to race in Heat 3. Meanwhile, there is the Fiesta of Maciek Florszak closing on Kieran Curran. It's Ireland versus Poland for third place. Further back in fifth, I think, is still Geordie Gray in the BMW. Todd Crooks, the former Super Modified champion of 2 years ago, sadly struggling today with a few mechanical issues with his BMW Mini. And the number 48 at the back of the field. Todd, the holder of the Dixon Trophy for Super Finals over the course of the season. No Super Final today, incidentally, but over the course of the season, Super Finals, effectively all-comers races, are run at the end of the programme at certain events in the championship, and the most successful driver overall across the aggregate of all the Super Finals is awarded the Dixon Trophy in memory of Gemma Dixon, a great friend to the championship over the years. And Todd won the inaugural staging of that last year. There's Kieran Curran. He's still in third place, locks up big time into the hairpin. Goodness me, I thought he was going to spin it there. The Irish, very successful in rallycross over the years, and certainly always flamboyant. Of course, over the closed season, very sadly, we lost a great Irishman, the 6-time British champion, the legendary Dermot Carnegie. Sadly passed away just before the start of the season at the age of 80. And he is greatly missed by everyone in the rallycross community, the legendary Dermot Carnegie. Meanwhile, Fred Ling continues to dominate proceedings out in front. He didn't get the best of starts. I think there was a bit of confusion when Kieran Curran possibly jumped the start. David Bell there in second place in the Mini Countryman. Desperately trying to reel in the Fiesta. Up towards the paddock complex once again. It's all looking good for Fred Ling. Could we see him challenge for a second overall championship? David Bell in second. They're well ahead of the rest of the field. And those tyres shouldn't be there. Who's hit that tyre stack? There's a chicane in the middle of the left-hander at the back of the course. Those tyres should not be there. Let's hope everybody can avoid them for the remainder of this race. We think it was Maciek Florszak, I'm told, who clipped them. Yep, yellow flag is out. Just to warn the drivers there. And that's Marshall is standing on what you can see what used to be the jump here at Blyton on the far side. They don't use it anymore. Luckily the leaders have got round that tyre stack. And Fred Ling, no problem at all. Kieran Curran, further back still in third. And there is the checkered flag. Fred Ling takes the win in the SG Haulage Super Modified A final. A hat-trick of wins for Fred today. David Bell comes over in second. And we await to find who's going to be third. Kieran Curran crosses the line in third place, but may be subject to a penalty for jumping the start. But he is, in any case, well clear of everyone else. Florszak comes over in fourth in the Fiesta. And the last couple of cars will come home. There is Fred Ling. He will go to the top of the SG Haulage Super Modified points. And the result confirmed, Fred Ling the winner by 2.5 seconds over David Bell. Kieran Curran, despite a 5-second penalty, does take third place. That penalty for jumping the start. Maciek Florszak and Geordie Gray completing the finishes after Todd Crooks pulled off, and a quartet of non-starters after problems earlier on in the heats.
Fred, it's probably true to say that that you're a very modest chap, as we established when we spoke earlier on, and you perhaps weren't expecting to come out and win first time. You're just here for the fun of it, and not really looking to be on the top step of the podium, perhaps.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I expected Martin in his VX 220. I know he's unfortunately broken down. I knew he'd be a missile off the line. He unfortunately, I think, hit some clutch and handbrake problems earlier in the day, but Kieran's, who was in the yellow Corsa, just an absolute rocket off the line, and then there's some other new and very powerful front-wheel drive cars that have come out to play. So I thought we'd be in the ballpark, to be honest, but yeah, going and getting a win like that, I didn't anticipate happening. Yeah, it's been a good day.
Well, indeed it has. It just demonstrates that that all that winning that you did a couple of years ago, well, you've not lost the habit.
No, it was a very strange start. I think Kieran next to me jumped, and none of us really knew what to do because the green lights then went on, and some of them decided to go, and then it was like, right, we're going. So it was. I don't think anyone really knew what happened at the start there, but the race carried on, and yeah, we sort of all seemed to filter into our positions, and meant I had to do a bit of overtaking, which was good fun, and yeah, here I am talking to you again, which is a bit of deja vu, but nice. It's good to have deja vu like this.
Well, indeed it is, and as the song goes, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah, which was, at the end of the day, it's been a great finish, isn't it? Weather's been good, it's sort of caught up to the timetable. I know we had a few incidents earlier in the day, but fair play to the organisers, they amalgamated us all, and we've churned through the rest of the timetable, and it's been a great day for everyone, and I think hopefully I'm not just saying that because I'm on some sort of winner's high, but I'd like to think everyone else had a good day too.
Okay, here we go then. The Spark Motorsport developments. Pre-95 Classic A final. John Cross on pole, the double heat winner in the Lancia Stratos. He's off like a rocket, so is Tony Lynch from the second row in the Toyota MR2. There's contact between the two of them, and Lynch spins around. That's like, oh my goodness gracious me. Massive accident off the grid. Lynch goes over. He's collected by Tom Edmonds. That is a big one. Huge accident there off the grid. Tony Lynch appears to be okay, thankfully. Obviously the race has been stopped immediately. Look at the state of those two cars. Thankfully Tom Edmonds gets out, he's all right. The medics onto the scene as a precaution straight away. Tony Lynch appears to be okay, thankfully. That is a massive accident. Ready for the restart of our Spark Developments Pre-95 Classic A final. John Cross on pole alongside the battered Peugeot of Darrell Ambrose, and it is the Lancia Stratos of double heat winner John Cross rockets off into the lead. Now let's hope he's cured those gremlins from heat 3 earlier on then as they go into the first corner. Stephen Gaunt up into second place in the Corsa. Darrell Ambrose, the winner of our third heat, in third place in his slightly battered Peugeot. It's John Cross who leads the way in that low-slung Lancia Stratos clone, Stratosphere as it's known, out onto the back of the circuit for the first time. We didn't see too much of him in the championship last year. Oh, Stephen Gaunt spun. He's lost second place going out of the chicane there. So up into second goes Darrell Ambrose. Third is Macy Art Evans in his first Rallycross in the 205. Fourth is Adam Taylor. Gaunt has got going again in fifth, and there's Helen Crooks in sixth position in her classic Mini. They start to string out now around the Blyton Park driving centre circuit. Cross leads as they complete the opening lap. Darrell Ambrose keeping him in sight in the Peugeot in second place, and a gap back to Evans in third, and Evans goes off. Thought he was going to pull into the paddock there for a second, but he's kept it going. Just went off onto the gravel there. On for a podium place at the moment, but Stephen Gaunt is fighting back, attacking for fourth position on the inside of Adam Taylor's Peugeot 106. There goes Ambrose in second place over the loose. John Cross continues to lead. The veteran rallycrosser competed back in the 90s in the European Championship in a Ford Fiesta, among other things. He's taking it steady at the moment. He knows that the Stratos is not immune to gremlins. He had some problems in Heat 3 earlier on that cost him a hat-trick of heat wins. And now Evans defending third place. Trying to defend from Stephen Gaunt. The SG Haulage Corsa looks to the inside. Is he going to get through on the hairpin? No, he's not. The Spark Developments Peugeot holds him off. That's Evans being run by Jamie McBain's team, the reigning classic champion. Here comes the Lancia Stratos. Beautiful little coupe continues to lead. No shame we haven't got Tony Lynch out there to challenge him after that accident in the first running of this race. Ambrose in second place, missing the front wing there after that contact earlier on with the door pushed in as well. That's where he was collected by the out-of-control MR2 of Tony Lynch. Evans still holding off Gaunt for third place. This is a good performance by Macy Art Evans, the tattoo artist at the wheel of the lime green, pink and black Spark Developments 205. Interesting colour scheme. That was on display in the main hall at the NEC this year. And Steve Gaunt goes wide in the Corsa. And now Ambrose starting to close in. Yeah, he's got the gap right down, up on the hairpin. Goes for the outside. Now, Darrell Ambrose. Can he catch John Cross? The Stratos gets the power down in a straight line and pulls away again. But the Peugeot seems to be stronger in the twisty bits. There's not many twisty bits here at Blyton except on that loose section on the infield. So that's where Ambrose needs to strike. If he can catch John Cross. I don't know whether Cross just missed a gear or something there coming through towards the hairpin. And he's staying ahead of Ambrose now. Darrell Ambrose just pushing on, trying to catch our leader, looking for his first ever A final win in the BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship, the former Peugeot 106 campaigner. And now you see in this slightly twistier section of the circuit, Ambrose able to close up again. Is John Cross struggling with his lower gears, I wonder? He's not lost some of his gears, has he? Because up in this section of the circuit, he drops back into the clutches of the Peugeot, but as soon as he hits the straight, he's able to get the power down again. Seems to be struggling at either in lower gears or lower revs, the Stratos, and Ambrose staying with him, but the checkered flag will greet John Cross, and he takes the win, only just over Daryl Ambrose by about a car's length there. Good effort by Ambrose in that slightly battered Peugeot for second place. And who's going to come through for third position? It's Stephen Gaunt who comes through to take third in the Corsa. Macy Art Evans will come through for fourth place in the 205. And then there's a gap back to Adam Taylor in fifth in the Peugeot 106. And Helen Crooks will complete the finishers in the Mini. Results of the Spark Developments Pre-95 Classics confirm then. John Cross the winner by just under a second ahead of the hard-charging Daryl Ambrose, with Stephen Gaunt third ahead of newcomer Macy Art Evans. Taylor and Crooks complete the finishers. Thankfully Tony Lynch and Tom Edmonds okay after that big accident at the start of the race.
Well, John, it's been a little while since we had one of these chats after you've won a final, but how, the good feeling never stops, does it?
Oh, I almost forgot what it's like to win. I only had one, I think, or maybe two in the whole of last year, but no, it's good to be back on. A bit of controversy in the final, which still needs sorting out yet, but one of those things, it's racing. Rubbing is racing, isn't it?
Well, so long as it's not too much. But yeah, I'm happy with the car?
Still a few improvements to be made. We didn't run anywhere near full power today, trying to be kind to the gearbox and make things last a bit. So all in all, a good day. The biggest problem I had in the final was on about the third lap I lost my brakes. I don't know if you noticed, I was pumping, the lights would have been flashing all the way down the straight trying to build up pressure for the end of the straight, but it was okay. I could see I had a bit of a cushion, so but if there had been somebody right on my chuff, that might have been a bit hairier.
Well done, and we'll
look forward to seeing you at Lyddon.
Absolutely.
The same again.
Thanks for your time, John. Well done.
Cheers.
So here we go then with the A final for the MOT Group Production category. 2 heat wins for Martin Peters. He's on pole. 1 heat win for Alex Fletcher, the reigning overall champion. Away they go, and a great start by Fletcher in the Civic. He leads the way down towards the first corner, side by side between Peters and Will Noon for second place. The Clio trying to get around the outside, but it's Fletcher who has the lead. Ben Flynn in fourth place in his Citroen Saxo. Then we've got the C2 of Edmund Shepherd. They've all made it round the first corner okay. It's Fletcher who leads the way. Tom Brooks slow away in the Honda Civic further back. Looks like he's got problems. So Tom has pulled up in the TBM Motorsports Honda Civic. That's a great shame. And he's out of the race. The other Civic of Alex Fletcher out front, the reigning overall champion, sporting the number 1. Won the title on a tie-break with David Bell in the super modified category in the overall points last season. Bouncing over the grass there, Andy Harris in his Suzuki Swift out of the hairpin. Fletcher from Peters. These two fought tooth and nail in the production category all last season. Also in there with them was Mark Henry in his Alfa Romeo 147. Not here today. Hopefully we'll see Mark back out later in the season. It's Alex Fletcher who leads as they complete the opening lap. Champions, Loughborough College, it says on the side of the car. The car prepared by Alex's students. He is a lecturer at Loughborough College and has overcome more than most to compete again in Rallycross. Was out of racing for a few years while he battled against lymphoma, but having beaten cancer, he is back and back with a vengeance. Great to have Alex racing again. And it's the Wera Tools back to Honda Civic who leads. Martin Peters in the Saxo. Will Noon going well up there in third place in the Clio. Swings his way through the left-hander on the back straight. There's Ben Flynn going well in fourth, one of our newcomers. Then Edmund Shepherd. Finn Vore in his Saxo next to him. I think that's the ex-Charlie Maroney car that he's driving. We saw him take an A-final win here a couple of years ago at Blighton in that car. Martin Peters not giving Alex Fletcher any peace at all at the front of the field. These two were rarely more than a couple of metres apart on track at any time last year. As Alex Fletcher continues to set the pace in our final race of the day. Passing the stranded car of Tom Brooks, standing out of the car disconsolately on the side of the circuit. Great shame for Tom. There's not been a good day for the Brooks family, with his father Neil picking up some damage to the front end of his Clio in the heats and unable to start the A final. Ben Flynn still best of the newcomers in fourth, and Martin Peters now starting to reel in. Alex Fletcher there is Tom Brooks, looking rather fed up, and who can blame him? Peters did get to within a car length of Fletcher there. Fletcher pulls away down the straights. Yellow flags are waving. Is that because of Tom Brooks' car? I'm not sure. Can Alex Fletcher hang on for an A final win to kick off his title defence in style? Will Noon looks safe in third. Here comes Martin Peters. Can he challenge into the complex? I don't think he'll get through on the hairpin. That bit of smoke, is that tyre smoke or is that a bit of oil smoke there possibly from the Honda? Pulls away again down the straight, able to get the power down better, the Honda Civic. Into the paddock complex. Well ahead of Will Noon now in third. There's the light blue Clio in the background. Still Alex Fletcher defends the lead, repelling the attacks of Martin Peters. Cuts onto the grass there briefly as they go over the infield. Could be in for the closest finish of the day here. Saving the best till last. Further back in the order, looks like Edmund Shepherd has got through into fourth in the C2. And it's all about these two. Is Peters going to be able to get the cut back here on the hairpin? He's trying to. Can he get up alongside? He gets the better exit from the hairpin that time. But no, again, Fletcher able to pull away down the straights. This is going to be crucial here as they come into the right-hander. Checkered flag is at the ready, and Fletcher hangs on to take the win just ahead of Martin Peters. Cracking race to finish between those two. Will Noon takes third in the Clio. And we await to see who's going to come through for fourth place. It is Edmund Shepherd, best of the newcomers in his C2. So Alex Fletcher starts his title defence perfectly with a win in the MOT Group Production A final, half a second ahead of the chasing Martin Peters. Will Noon third in the Clio, then Shepherd best of the newcomers ahead of Finn Vore, Ben Flynn, Andy Harris and Kezia Dawn, the Australian, completing the 8 runners. A bad day sadly for the Brooks family.
You join us in the paddock, where I'm delighted to be having a little word or two with the winner of our last final of the day, number one on the side of the car, and number one in the final, Mr. Alex Fletcher. Congratulations!
Oh, thank you, Steve. Yeah, that was hard work. Martin was pushing me all the way. He was looming large in my mirrors, you know. And we've had great racing today with the two of us. You know, we've been chasing each other's tails all day. So yeah, super happy to get that one, because we've been struggling with brakes all day, and that one we were really struggling. We're getting a very long pedal there, but we managed to drive around it, bring it home, and that's what counts, isn't it? So another win. That's just a fantastic way to start the season.
Well, isn't it? After winning, was it every round last year?
All but one. All but one. I missed out on one and I ruined the day. That was down to Mark, so I'll have him for that. Don't you worry about that. But yeah, great way to start, and obviously leading on from last year, just fantastic. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah. My thoughts were with the plugs on the side of the car for the previous wins. You're going to need a bigger car for more plugs. But it's great to see the little car out there getting ragged as usual. Yeah. and yet, despite it being 2 litres. Yeah. Martin was keeping you honest with his 1600 Saxo.
Yeah, exactly. Martin's is a lot lighter. You know, we've got quite a weight penalty with this. So as soon as we get on the open stretches, we've just got the edge. So that's where he was catching me. But yeah, tough one. But super happy with that.
So much to do before the next round mechanically?
Yep, obviously full brake overhaul, and we've got a small gearbox issue as well, so we've got to sort that out. Another one, yeah. Oh. We like collecting them, so yeah, it's a curse of Blighton, I think, because last time we were here we lost third gear, but we managed to bring home the win. This time it's second gear, so it's decided to change its mind, but I think it's just a detemp ball issue. It just keeps jumping out a second, but
managed to bring it home for the college, for Wirratools, for all the students. Brilliant. I'm just so proud I could do it.
So that wraps up the opening round of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubman's Rallycross Championship for 2025. A day of action and high attrition. A number of drivers with a fair amount of repairs to make ahead of the subsequent rounds coming up over the course of the summer. The championship visiting the likes of Pembrey in South Wales, the home of Rallycross at Linden Knockhill in Scotland, and more besides. But that does wrap up the action for the opening round here at the Blyton Park Driving Centre. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye for now.